Becky's art show party. It was a lovely day on the island of New Florida, and the trains were being really useful with their passengers, freight, and preschool products. They were really pleased with themselves indeed. Becki was shunting freight cars in the yard. Mr. Cakester came to see her. A new equestrian railroad opened this morning, he said. Mr. Percival ordered 2 engines named Delcy and Havy. Becki, I'd like you to go meet them. I'm on it, sir, said Becki, and she buffered up to freight cars full of wood planks, and she set off toward the equestrian railway. She had a lot of horsepower. She arrived on time. Mr. Percival was talking to Duncan and Rusty. An art show party is coming later today, he said. Havy and Delcy will help you. That sounds like fun, sir, Rusty said. I hope I like the party too, said Becki. Then Delcy and Havy arrived. It's nice to meet you, said Delcy. It really is, said Havy. Duncan had to collect his passenger train. All aboard, he said. That's a lot of passengers, Duncan, said Havy. Rusty arrived with more products. I'm sure you'd like everything there, said Skarloey. I bet I will, said Duncan. But I'm worried the passengers might be late, said Skarloey. They're never late, said Duncan. I hate it when they're late. I dislike it when they're late, corrected Rusty. Duncan took it. I prefer to hate it when they're late, because I strongly dislike. Hate's a firm word, Duncan. Use dislike, said Skarloey, because hate is a strong word. Duncan hated the word hate, and he stormed away. He started to rock and roll. Whoopee! That smelly diesel knows everything. And then he came up and saw Percy at Oaks Valley Station. You're always rocking and rolling, Duncan, laughed Percy. I don't think I would do that. I've had a good day, Percy, Duncan said. I hate the word hate. And he stormed out of the station after everyone was on board Percy's train. Rusty hates the word hate, and I do too, said Duncan. So I dislike the word dislike as well. And he was rocking and rolling along the line. Then there was trouble. Sleepers and ballast, I'm off! Moaned Duncan. Bertram and Duke pulled up. What's going on down there? Asked Bertram. I don't know what he's doing, said Duke. Then Rusty arrived with the breakdown train on board with Mr. Percival. He was disappointed. Engines don't rock and roll, he said. Dislike is a better term than hate is, because we only use that when you dislike stuff. Sorry, sir, moaned Duncan. Then Delcy and Havy pulled Duncan and his train back onto the rails. Duncan had ran into the brick wall and damaged his boiler. Thank you a lot, said Duncan, as his train was going upright again. The coaches were going back up onto the rails after everyone was on Bertram and Duke's train. That evening, the Artshow party began. And the two engines named Delcy, Havy, Nori, and Barney began to go around the track. Here we go, they said. They were having fun, and it was the best art show party project they had ever had. This is the fun art show party I've made, Becki said. My art show party is the bomb. Havy led the way. These artisans are special to me, Becki said. I really love art show parties, said Dwee excitedly. We're always here to watch every artisan do their work, said Sasha. Thank you for helping me, said Duncan. I'm the best engine ever. You're welcome, said Rusty. That night, all the engines were asleep. Early the next morning, Becki had to collect a train of coal, and then a diesel engine shunted the freight cars. Were shunted into place. And Becki puffed off with the deadheading tank car. She was still thinking about her next art show party. The train was really long, and Becki carried on with it. The tank cars were full of jet fuel. The wagons were flammable, but Becki carried on. Courtney, Casey, Penny, Gwen, Rose, and Lise would add their train when Becki removed the deadheaded tank car to be renovated and repainted. It was a lot of work, but Becki carried on. The tank car was getting rustier and rustier. "We'll make it to the end of the line soon," said our dweebler. Becki steamed through the tunnel to get the tank car to the yard to be renovated. Cars were full and Becki made it just in time. She was concerned. Then the freight cars were uncoupled and Becki puffed off to remove it. It was deteriorating, and Becki didn't give up. She was still doing her best. She brought it to the sheds to be painted and set off with a load of crates to help get everything organized. She made it with the crates on time. Then she was getting refueled, but when she was, there was trouble. The freight car got shunted in and Becki jumped in surprise and bumped into some freight cars full of diapers. Whee! They cheered. They rolled down the line with the diaper boxes, and then at that moment, Alexia appeared with a load of grain. "Goods train coming through," said Alexia. "It was too late! Didn't expect these diaper boxes to be smashed." Then Becki saw what had happened. No one had been hurt, but there were diaper boxes everywhere, and Alexia was derailed. "I'm sorry, Becki," she said, "but you have to take this grain for me." And then Becki pulled Alexia to safety, and then Dwee took the diapers to their destination. They were clean diapers, and Becki and Dwee pulled them on. And Becki and Alexia steamed off, but unbeknownst to Becki, Alexia's tender drawbar was cracked, and then it happened. Her drawbar broke, and then she stopped with Alexia. "Oh no!" cried Alexia. "My tender is broken!" So Alexia's tender was uncoupled, and the train started to roll backwards down the hill. "You have to join me to my tender again," said Alexia. "There's an old signpost in your cab." The freight cars rolled fast down the line, but with no engine, they couldn't stop. They were completely out of control. The signpost fit right into Alexia's tender, and then her wires were rejoined, and it allowed Alexia and Becki to continue their way to help. The freight cars of grain were going really fast. But then an Amtrak train came into view, and it was the Lakeshore Limited 449 and 49 from New York City and Boston, Massachusetts. The freight cars rolled by the Amtrak train at high speed. And the roomettes were lovely inside. But the grain was heavy. Courtney, Casey, Penny, Gwen, Rose, and Lise were approaching. "We've got this job," they said. "Watch out, Courtney, there's a train coming," said Casey. "We'd better hit the brakes," said Penny. Their driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. No one was hurt or worse, but some of the freight cars were smashed and damaged beyond repair, but the others were intact. Courtney was toppled. "We're sorry about this," she said. She was engulfed in steam. "We'll get back upright in a minute," said Casey. Becki arrived with the trash cars to scrap every freight car in the grain, and at last she pulled Lise back up onto the rails again. "Thanks, Becki," she said. "I can't pull the train over the hill on my own. Can you push me all the way to the top?" She was back on her wheels again. Becki was excited to help. She pushed with all her might. She pushed and she pushed. And at last, Lise started to move. "Here I go," she said. "Goods train coming through while my leading units are being repaired." And the goods were loaded up, and Lise made her way to Dweeblewood Springs. But she was glad the oil didn't blow up, but not about the derailment. The tank cars were full of all the chemicals, and she was not giving up. She was being really useful. As the freight cars clattered behind, she made it just in time. A few days later, the Artshow party was over, and Becki and Dwee knew that there's nothing better than having an Artshow party than to be really useful. I hope I don't spoil the next story, because I hope you know that an Artshow party is special, don't you?